Hi everyone and welcome to this video. My name is Роберт and I'm the General Director of Studies at ILS. Today we are going to talk about question tags. Let's start, shall we? Question tags are also called tag questions. But what is it? Short question added on to a statement. We use it when we want to get confirmation or agreement. We also use it when we want to emphasize something. And question tags are more common in speaking than writing. Here is an example. You are smart, aren't you? The statement is you are smart. Aren't you is the question tag. Let's go deeper into the topic and let's have a look how do we actually use these question tags. If we have a positive statement, such as you are smart, then the question tag is going to be negative. Aren't you? And the opposite is true. If the statement is negative, such as in James isn't ill, then the question tag is going to be positive. Is he? There is a certain logic that we follow when we create the question tags. In the first example, we have to analyze what is the statement. Is it positive? Is it negative? We can see that you are is a positive statement, so we need to turn it into negative. We turn it into aren't. You are becomes aren't. So we have the first part of the question tag, and then we have to somehow finish the sentence. We take you and move it to the end of the sentence. So the subject pronoun is going to be the last word, and it's always the one that follows either modal verbs or auxiliary verbs or any form of the verb to be. Now, the second example is when we have a negative statement. James isn't, so that is negative. We need to turn it into positive. Isn't becomes is. And now we need to do something with James. We can't use James at the end of the sentence, so we will use the subject pronoun. So we turn the noun or the name of the person into a subject pronoun. And it becomes is he. So we just created two examples, two sentences using the question tags. Let's see what we have learned. Let's try to create our next sentence. Monday is the first day of the week. What will be the question tag? So we can see that Monday is. What will be the opposite? The opposite will be isn't. So isn't it? The second example, James Bond movies are the best. We can see that it's a positive statement. Are will have to be turned into negative. So are becomes aren't. Aren't they? James Bond movies are the best. Aren't they? There is also an important point we have to mention, and that is about intonation. Let's have a look. Monday is the first day of the week, isn't it? Or James Bond movies are the best. Aren't they? Have you noticed any difference between the two? In the first example, I used a downwards tone, and in the second example, I've used an upwards tone. What is the difference between the two? Can you guess? I will give you some hint. Which one do you think is used when I'm sure about the statement and I'm seeking confirmation? Or when I'm not sure about the statement and I want to know the answer? We use the downwards tone when we are sure and we just want to get a confirmation. And we use the upwards tone when we want to know the answer. I also prepared a table that shows some of the tenses with which we can use question tags. I divided the present simple into two examples. One is with the verb to be, the other one is with another verb. So let's see how do we construct the question tags with the verb to be. Monday is the first day of the week. Isn't it? So is becomes isn't. When we use other verbs such as live, John lives in New York. We use the auxiliary verb to create the question tag. Doesn't he? John lives in New York, doesn't he? He lived in San Francisco earlier, didn't he? With the past continuous, we use he was rushing somewhere, wasn't he? With the present perfect, we use Sarah has tried snowmobiling before, hasn't she? Let's have a look at some other examples. With the past perfect, they had been in New York, hadn't they? With the future simple, you will go to the beach tomorrow, won't you? And I have also gathered a couple examples with modal verbs. Let's have a look. She can build a snowman, can't she? He should go to see a doctor, shouldn't he? And Tom must finish his project tonight, mustn't he? I have specially selected this last example because you can see that the verb must turns into mustn't. And here it's very important to mention that while we say must, when it's in the negative form, we emit the T sound and it becomes mustn't. Not mustn't, but mustn't. Let's have a look at a couple exceptions. There are plenty of them and they are very good to know. Let's learn something new. We use in the question tag shall. Shall we? I'm such a couch potato. Now here, when we turn am into negative, we will not use amn't, but we are going to use aren't. So, I'm such a couch potato, aren't I? In Ireland, by the way, some people still use amn't I. So you could say, I am very happy that we use amn't I in Ireland. Amn't I? Let's move on. I am never on time. Am I? In this case, we use am because never makes the sentence negative. Oh, shut up. Will you? When we use imperatives, we use will in the question tag. With nobody, we use do they. Nobody likes doing homework. And the last one is also very interesting. As I told you, when we have a positive statement, we use a negative question tag. However, there are some exceptions. We can use a positive statement with a positive question tag if we want to confirm information. This is your new phone, is it? In this case, it's grammatically correct. Let's have a look at the answers. How can we answer question tags? If we have a positive question, we have a positive statement, and there is a negative question tag, depending on yes or no in the answer will determine which part of the sentence is true. So for example, you are late, aren't you? If I say yes, that means that the first part of the sentence is true, the positive statement is true. If I say no, I'm not, that means that the later part, the question tag is true, and this means that I'm not late. James isn't ill, is he? James isn't ill is negative, is he is positive. If I say no, he isn't, I confirm the negative part of the statement. And if I say is he, yes he is, then I confirm the second part of the sentence. So here is the rule. If the answer is yes, then that means the positive statement is true. If the answer is no, that means the negative is true. Let's have a look at the requests. We can use requests with question tags when we use the imperative, or we can use them without the imperatives. Here are 3 examples. Wait here a moment, can you? Give me a tissue, could you? Or take the trash out, will you? And an example of requests without the imperatives. You couldn't help me, could you? Now it's your turn to demonstrate what you have learned. We will put your theoretical knowledge into practice. Here are 7 sentences. I would like you to read them all, then pause the video, take a piece of paper, write down the correct answers, and after that resume playing the video and check the answers. Good luck. Now let's check all your answers. First one. Jack did not say much. Did not is negative. We need to turn into positive. That will become did he. The second one. I am such a great guitar player. I am is positive. We need to turn it into negative. Aren't I? I'm such a great guitar player. Aren't I? I'm not so good at dancing. I am not is negative. We need to turn it into a positive statement. Am I? Let's go to the cinema. Let's. You remember that that's an exception. So we will use shall we. Hurry up. is an imperative. So what do we use with imperatives? Will. The correct answer is will you. Nobody cares about the weather. Do you remember we mentioned nobody? What do we use in the question tag? We use they, do they. And the last one, that was cool. And we want to get confirmation. So that was cool. Was it? Great job. That's it for today. Thank you for watching this video till the end. You can check out our other videos that are on our YouTube channel. Please be sure to subscribe, and you are going to get notifications when we release new, very interesting and useful videos. Thank you and goodbye.